Hang on, I just want to check something. Okay, sorry about that. Welcome to NFL, where the NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob. And in week 14 in the NFL was not a normal week under circumstances, as we were awaiting to see what the NFL was going to do with Azeez Al-Shaair. And Al-Shaair, the verdict, I guess you could say, came out yesterday as the NFL decided the best course of action, because Al-Shaair was a multi-time offender, as we said, was to suspend him. So they suspended him for 3 games. Now, at first it was said 3 weeks. They have a bye week. You cannot be suspended on a bye week. So it's 3 games, so he will come back for the season finale in week 18. That does also mean he misses the game against the Chiefs, by the way. I do have to make that abundantly clear. But we said a similar thing was going to happen, that Al-Shaair had to be suspended, multi-time offender this year. Plus, the Lawrence injury was so gruesome, there had to be something. The NFL had to make an example, and they did. So, Al-Shaair suspended 3 games without pay, by the way. So, I don't have the worded email in front of me, but from what I can gather and understand, they told him, "You're a multi-time offender. This is what happened. We don't support this kind of behavior. You showed little to no remorse, which goes against our conduct policies. We're not allowing it." Basically, that's what was said. So, what did DeMeco Ryans think of this? He defended Al-Shaair on the hit. I'm actually reading it for the first time right now, so give me a second as this thing pops up on my phone. No. Let me make sure I get it. There we go. So DeMeco Ryans was asked on Tuesday and took the opportunity to defend Al-Shaair. He said, "With the entire Azeez situation, we stand behind Azeez. It's a twofold. A lot of quarterbacks in this day and age, they try to take advantage of the rule or sliding late. We will get into that a little bit later. And then they try to get the extra yard. You're a defender. A lot of is on us as a defender, whether it's on the side or whether it's on the quarterback, on the sideline or on the quarterback. You do not, this is what is strange. You don't need what a guy is thinking. You don't need, if a guy is standing up and is continuing to run, you don't know. And then you get a late slide and you hit the guy. It's unfortunate that Trevor got hurt, I hope Trevor is okay. But it was also when you're sliding and you have to get down, getting out of bounds or getting down. The rule is there to protect the quarterbacks. We want our quarterbacks to be safe in the league, so we just have to be safe. And when we're sliding, make sure we're keeping our heads down the entire thing. Aziz hits the guy, but the sideline overreacts and it turns into a melee. But it wasn't our guys. Their team overreacted, dragged our guy, pushed our guy to the sideline, so that's uncalled for on that side. So basically, he's trying to say the issue of Aziz hitting Trevor Lawrence didn't deserve that reaction, basically. Which is, I am happy he stands up for his guy. I'm happy he's taking his guy's side, but he's completely wrong. It was a very reactionary play because it was so bad. It was so bad. And you guys seen it. It was so bad. He hit him so late. And if you look, he's not pulling off at all. He's like forearm shivering this guy directly in the forehead. There's no chance. We talked about this on Monday about the old hit from LaMarcus Joyner hitting Teddy Bridgewater years ago. At least in that play, Joyner tried to turn, but he ended up hitting probably Teddy more than anything because he was already launched. Aziz went forward and forearm shivered him in the head. The reaction was well-deserved. Now, I do want to stick to the part of the late slide because Tom Brady also made a similar claim. He said quarterbacks should be fined for that because what happens is quarterbacks try to get the extra yard and slide late when the defender is already jumping. There's nothing the defender can do. Where if the quarterback slides early, that defender's not going to jump. So, and if he does, it's a different situation. That's what they're saying. It's not completely ridiculous. We find players for everything, but this is a rule that we've put in place to protect quarterbacks. We're not protecting the defender at all. I agree with Tom. The guy should be fined if he slides late because how many quarterbacks we saw it. You got guys like Josh Allen, before him, Cam Newton, that were big guys. Mahomes does a very similar thing. They're big guys. You don't know if they're going to stop or not, so you have to hit them. But then they also slide late to get the penalty yards as much as they can get the extra yard. So they'll get the extra yard. They see a guy's jumping, and so they slide down immediately. And if they get hit, they're like, where's the flag? I think the NFL will make that change. I think they have to because it is getting ridiculous. It's kind of like we've seen this a lot more now, and I actually do appreciate it. Even when it happens against my team, I appreciate it in a way. So what happens is, let's say, and it most happens with offensive and defensive linemen because they're always battling. But if the offensive lineman's going and is pushing and going against the whistle on the defender, then just kind of shoves him back a little bit. And the offensive lineman falls like he's a sack of bricks. Like a breeze hit him and he could fall over. The NFL is now saying, okay, we're going to call a foul on the defender, but we're going to call a foul on the offensive player as well. Because you're both doing it. That's the smart play. That's the smart thing to do. And vice versa. It's smart. Because it makes no sense. You're 6'5", 6'6". You weigh almost 300 pounds. You're not going to get pushed over by a sack of potatoes, okay? It is what it is. You're not going to get pushed over by a breeze. So if someone barely touches you, you're not going to fall over. So when you do it, we're throwing the flag on. That's what they're doing. The same thing should be done here. Maybe not with flags, but with fining, at least. Force these quarterbacks to stop doing it because they keep doing it. And they're going to get hurt. They are going to get hurt. That plain and simple. But him defending Al-Shaair, I understand him defending him because he's a player he's a coach for that team, but he's completely wrong. It did warrant that kind of behavior. Moving on, I want to make sure I get everything if I do put in. Okay, yes, let's do the present first. All right, so the Washington Commanders, I don't know if you've been aware, the last couple of years they've hired a couple different guys, different people to be in their front office. I want to make sure I find it. Can I find it? Okay, right here. So the Washington Commanders have named a new team president. The Commanders hired Campbell's CEO Mike Klaus as new team president. He will oversee all facets of the team business operations. Klaus will begin his role in late January. He joins the Commanders after being chief executive officer, of Campbell's company. He will take over for Jason Wright, who's been with the franchise from 2020 to 2023 and is stepping down over the summer, but has continued to work with the team as an advisor. Here's the quote from the Commanders' managing partner, Josh Harris, my bad. In Mark, we have found a dynamic leader with a stellar track record of guiding organizations to excellence, building brands that connect deeply with consumers, ultimately deliver the best-in-class experience and lasting memories. Harris continued saying in the statement, shares our commitment to using the power of the Commanders franchise to bring people together. The quote continues on, as a military veteran and an accomplished business builder, he has a proven ability to strengthen both the organization that he leads and the communities that he serves. I am confident in Mark's dedication to building a championship caliber organization and to support football operations and our drive for excellence on the field. It goes on about saying Klaus's accolades. It's a good hire. It's a really good hire. It's a really interesting hire also because it's not, and you can see this with Josh Harris, it's not football people. It's business-minded people. And in a weird way, when you operate a front office, you need business-minded people. You don't need football people as much. It doesn't work as well. You get football-minded people for the football parts, but you get business-minded people for the business parts. That makes a lot of sense. It's an interesting, but also a very smart way of operating. Moving on to the Detroit Lions have signed Jamal Adams. Down the stretch, they've been riddled with injuries. They've had so many injuries. They need defensive help. They're bringing in Jamal Adams. Hopefully, he can help out and see what can exactly happen, benefit the team moving forward. I think Adams will probably be more of a linebacker also in their system, not really a safety anymore. So doesn't have the coverage ability anymore. So. But I think that's a great signing by the Lions. Let's see. Where do I want to go next? Before we do the previews. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to start. Can I find it? I don't know. Well, anyway, I know it. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Bills have decided to re-sign former All-Pro safety Micah Hyde for the playoff run. This is more of a signing, as in we have a chance to win the Super Bowl. We want you to be a part of it. Hyde hasn't played all year. Why not? Good guy in the leadership department. Good for the locker room. Also, if we need to put him out there, he's not completely lost. All right, let's get into the previews for Week 14. Let me switch this over real quick. Oh, no, we're here. Okay, perfect. So our first game is Thursday night's game again. Green Bay versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit's favored by 3.5. Give me Detroit. Here's why. The last time these two teams played, yes, it was a rain fest. I get it. It was also a dismantling of the Green Bay Packers. I think it will be closer. I'd actually hit the over on this. 51.5 is the over. The over-under is 51.5, so I take the over. But I have the Lions winning. It's what's going to stop the Lions is the Lions not being healthy. So, but give me the Lions to win, make this 12-1 with a score of 38-28. Give me 38-28. Next up, on Sunday, the Carolina Panthers against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are favored by 12.5. So they're betting on the Eagles dominating. I really want to see what Carolina can do against a team like this. Because I think Carolina and Philadelphia, that's an interesting battle. It really is. Don't look at the record of Carolina. They're way better than 3-9. This game is going to be close. The over-under is 46. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll say Philadelphia wins, but I think Carolina keeps this close. They'll cover for sure. Eagles win 24-17. Next up, Tampa Bay is at home playing the Raiders. It's -6.5 for the Bucks. The Raiders with Aiden O'Connell, they look a lot more explosive. This is going to be a tough matchup, though. Baker's kind of banged up a little bit. We'll see how he operates. But give me the Bucks to win this game, make them 7-6. Scores 28-14. Next up, Bills at Rams. I just want to make sure I got everything. Yeah, I do. Bills at Rams. The Rams getting +4.5 in Inglewood. The Rams are an interesting team because they too don't play like their record says. They're good but bad, if that makes sense. They're creative, but the Bills are really good on defense. So give me the Bills to win. Trying to keep pace with the Chiefs. Winning this game 28-24. Next up, Bears at Niners. Niners -4. Thomas Brown, his first head coaching assignment is against the 49ers. That's not an easy matchup. for being the newly promoted head coach. I also want to, let me see if I can find it real quick. Is he Bear new? Okay. I'm okay, here we go. The new offensive coordinator also for the Bears is Chris Bentley. Oh, is it? I think it's Beatley, but it might be Bentley. I probably butchered that, but he's taking over as the offensive player. So, with that all being said, and even though the Bears have not been that good, they've been competitive, and defensively they've actually been decent. And they could get pressure. We'll see if Trent Williams plays. He's got some family things going on. And the injuries, of course, that also have to be talked about. And we're pulling for Trent, obviously, during this very difficult time with his family. But I'm going to give this to the Bears. The Bears find a way to win. And we keep looking at other things for the 49ers. There's more questions than answers. Bears win, scores 24-21. Next up, Chargers at Chiefs. Sunday Night Football in Kansas City. Chiefs favored by 4. Here's the reason I don't buy this money line of 43. It is not true. Every time we see the Chiefs play, it is something different. Because you say 43, right? The last money line they hit, actually, you'd have to go back in this game. I think the over-under in the Raiders game was 45, and they only got 31. That was their over-under. They got like 34, 31. It was not a high money line, and they still couldn't hit. But I also think this is where the Chiefs start to just fall apart a little bit. I think the Chargers, the way they play their style, even though Pacheco is back, I think their style doesn't benefit against the Chargers. And it'll be a competitive game. And on Sunday Night Football. I know Buffalo will be watching. Baltimore's going to be watching. Trying to see if the Chargers can make this 9-4 and beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I'm going to say that does happen, that the Chargers find a way to split this game. I've said that if the Chiefs are going to lose, it's going to be against division opponents. I think the Chargers are that opponent, winning the game 31-24. 31-24. Give me that. And then the Monday night game between the Bengals and Cowboys we will do on Monday. So that is it for NFL World. Let me know in the comment section who you have winning this week. Also, what is to be expected out of the Chargers and Chiefs game on Sunday Night Football. For NFL World, I'm Jacob Hubert. Out.